Hi there. So we're going to start into chapter 1 now. I hope all of you have had a chance to read the Walt Disney case study in the textbook. If you've not, just pause this video and go ahead and read that case study. It's extremely valuable information in that article, and just talks a lot about why Disney has been so successful from a customer service standpoint. Sorry. So Disneyland, was created as a work of love. They didn't go into it with the idea that this was going to make them a ton of money. Walt Disney's philosophy was a personal one. His personal philosophy, his values, his morals, his religious beliefs, his goals, his psychographic awareness, so his ability to conceive the park, was what helped create and shape the company. So, even as he's gone today, the company still holds true to his basic beliefs and has diversified to incorporate cruises, TV channels, film studios, training institutes, all kinds of things. I think it's in that article where they talk about how other companies go in and do training at their company. So, the commitment to customers is number one with Disney. The focus on the guest experience rather than traditional business efficiencies is very evident when you visit a park, when you experience any bit of the Disney experience. It's Imagineering. It's the what ifs. It's the positive alternative to saying no. So at the park, you're not going to get a lot of no's, but they'll try to give you something else other than that. The Disney Institute is extremely valuable in creating and shaping the experience within their parks. So I think last week I gave you an assignment. Let me look it up here. What did I email to? Sorry, I'm just going to pause for a sec there. Donna. So if you can send me a message in Moodle or an email and let me know what stood out to you about Disney's customer service. So it only needs to be a sentence or two. But let me know what stood out about it to you, and maybe any of the behaviors or anything you've experienced or have tried to do in your previous jobs. So I don't want more than maybe a paragraph, 3 or 4 sentences, 5 or 6 at the most. That'll be your participation this week, and let me know how that article touched you. Sorry, I shouldn't eat almonds. So there's been many attempts over the years to define customer service. This book takes the definition as customer service is a practice of delivering products and services to both internal and external customers via the efforts of employees or through the provision of an appropriate servicescape. So it's a pretty lengthy description, but customer service is a fairly broad spectrum word. This definition acknowledges that customer service is just more than the interaction with employees and customers. On a basic stance, that's all it is, but it is a lot more than that. It relates to the physical infrastructure or the hospitality or the servicescape. So your customer service is more than just that one-on-one relationship. It takes into account everything the customer experiences. The history of customer service has changed over time. It's evolved massively and will again in the future. So in the 1800s, it was more of a craftsman economy where business owners were the frontline employees. They made custom orders. They didn't have all kinds of inventory on site. They talked with the customers about what they wanted and then made that. But 20th century, we saw mass production, less individualized service, and people were just bought what they were given, what they could find. So the power of suppliers is actually higher than that of consumers in post-World War II. So in the 1970s, we saw Western manufacturers trying to compete with Asia. Very difficult to do, try to keep on par with costs. And then in the 1990s, suppliers were more selective. Nowadays, what we're seeing, I think, is definitely a shift to a service economy. It's much more important than the manufacturing has been in the past. So, what are some of the reasons why companies might not provide excellent service? Sorry, I can't get this screen to go any bigger. Companies wrongly believe they're providing excellent service. I mean, if you ask a company, I'm sure they believe their service level is much higher than what customers do. They don't understand the significance of customer service sometimes, and sometimes companies don't know how to deliver a consistent, high-quality customer service on an ongoing basis. Yeah, if you look at this graph below, it's showing that what companies think they're offering is completely different than what customers think they are receiving. Very interesting graph. So another case study we saw was the golf course, the Augusta Masters. So very interesting to me as a very not avid golfer, but somebody who's watched it a little bit over the years. His philosophy was in the race for excellence, there's no finish line. So he was never happy with, with just, stopping and being happy with what you've got. He always looked forward and tried to exceed and excel in what he was doing. So, in the professional golf tournaments, he introduced so much to the world. He focused on serving the people that were there and was the first to offer many things such as bleachers, rope galleries, closed circuit TVs, on-course scoreboards, picnicking grounds, lavatories, and great value for food. I think that, when somebody reinvents an industry and how people see it, it's very valuable, and everybody goes and learns from him and does that now. The competition by which others are judged is what he did. So 3,500 staff employed every year. They look for a special kind of person. So they're looking for a special personality. Clifford's principles are a guiding philosophy. So, he was the one that guided how the company proceeded. So actually, I noticed that look for a special kind of person in the travel industry. There's a lot of companies that I think we've seen that do that. I don't know if you can think of any off the top of your head. Again, for me, WestJet's one because I work with them closely in the travel industry in Canada, but in the U.S., I think Southwest Airlines is one that definitely looks for a special kind of person to be part of their company. I'm not sure if you can think of any other companies like that. So the role of customer service. It models to assist in service marketing and management decisions at the strategic and implementation levels. So there are 4 unique characteristics of services. The service marketing triangle and the marketing mix for services. We're going to go over those next. So here are the unique characteristics of services. The characteristic is intangibility. The service product cannot be tasted, felt, seen, heard, or smelt prior to boarding a plane. Airline passengers have nothing but an airline ticket and the promise of a safe delivery to their destination. To reduce this uncertainty caused by the intangibility, buyers look for tangible evidence that it will be provided. And confidence about the service. So, they're looking for reviews and different things to ensure that they are getting something for the product that they purchased. Inseparability. For many services, the product cannot be created or delivered without customers being present. So the food in a restaurant might be outstanding, but if the service has a poor attitude or provides inattentive service, customers will not enjoy the overall restaurant experience. In the same way, other customers can affect the experience in service settings. So sometimes you can't separate the food from the experience. The experience might be the server, it might be the other customers, but that's quite a unique characteristic of customer service. So heterogeneity. It is service delivery quality depends on who provides the service. The same person can deliver different levels of service, displaying a marked difference in intolerance and friendliness as the day wears on. So the lack of consistency is a major factor in customer dissatisfaction. I'm sure we've all seen that. And we probably all deliver that level of customer service where it changes when we're exhausted or grumpy or whatnot. But yeah, that's definitely impacts customer service. So the last one is perishability. Services cannot be stored. When you have an empty airline seat or a hotel room or ski passes, all of these cannot be sold the next day. If services are to maximize revenue, they must manage capacity and demand since they cannot carry forward unsold inventory. It is very imperative for hotels to try to sell out each night because each day that they don't sell out just compounds on that lost income. So there's a lot of industries where we see this. You know, every time seats sit open in a restaurant one day and then the next day and then the next, it makes it's perishable. You cannot make that up. Oh, there. So the services marketing triangle. So there's different types of marketing. There's the external marketing, making promises, showing customers what you're doing. There's the interactive marketing where you're keeping promises and you know, as you interact with your customers and showing them what you're doing. And then there's the internal marketing. So you're enabling promises from your providers and from the company. So the expanded marketing mix for services, the physical goods feature is the product, the quality level, the accessories, the packaging, warranties, product line branding, that's all under your product. So when you're selling something, you know, it's the product that people are looking at. The place is where it's happening. So whatever channel type you're using, the exposure, intermediaries, outlet locations, transportation, storage, managing channels, that all falls under the place mix of services. So you have product, place, promotion, and price. Promotion is something that we, you know, really relate to customer service. So your promotion blend, how you're advertising things, your salespeople, the number of people in the store, the selection, your training, your incentives for those people, advertising, targets, media types, types of ad, copy thrust, sales promotion. Oh, sorry. Trying to move this down. Sales promotion, which is your publicity. And last, when we look at the marketing mix for it all, we look at price. So the flexibility of your price, the price level, terms, differentiation, discounts, and allowances. So that's very important, your marketing mix for the services that you're providing, your whether it's your customer service or just the service. The tourism and hospitality market. Activities of people traveling to and staying in places outside their usual environment for not more than one consecutive year for leisure, business, and other purposes, not related to the exercise of an activity remunerated from within the place visited. So that's your definition of tourism. You know, that's how it's defined with this textbook. So the demand for a wide range of travel and hospitality products, and the total market's now serviced by the world's largest industry. The travel industry is the world's largest industry. It was 50 million in 1950, 1.18 billion in 2015, and I don't even want to know what it is for 2020. As a business owner in the tourism industry,